Hey guys, back to Mallet Collectibles. My name is Mike. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Sideshow Bane maquette. Came out a few years ago. I think I got this one about 2 years ago, and I did not get it out right away. So I think maybe it's been out for about 3 years, give or take. But great statue. Before we get into the statue itself, I just want to talk a little bit about one of the things I think that Sideshow does that's really cool is they do it like they showcase the artists who make them. So I know this one was sculpted by Daniel Bell, and I believe the prototype was painted by Casey Love. Now, a lot of you guys, if you're statue collectors, have been around for a while in this hobby, you know exactly who those guys are. But if you don't, definitely check them out. Their work's awesome. I would highly recommend anyone that's interested in this stuff, the Sideshow, I believe it's called the Sideshow Artist Profile. They did videos, short videos on YouTube, maybe like 5 minutes long, just talking about different artists that's worked for him. And the Daniel Bell one is very cool. He kind of talks about how it didn't come easy, and when he was kind of searching for his career, he had struggled and went through a different field before he found sculpting, and they kind of found his calling. And he just he's a really humble guy, and it's one of the type of guys you want to root for. So to see him putting out work all the time consistently and being very successful is it's cool. Like I said, he just seems like the type of guy you want to succeed. And then, like I said, Casey Love, again, it's, at least for me, I know him more as like a monster. He does masks and more like kind of creature stuff, sculpting and painting. But like I said, I believe he painted the prototype on this one, and he's unbelievable. He had a YouTube channel where he was doing, I believe it was called Monday Night Monster Mash or something like that. Monday Night Monster Jam, I think. But he would, he'd be painting or sculpting, and he just kind of take everyone through it. And so, people like myself or less seasoned guys could learn from it. It was great. I'm not sure if it's still around, but check it out if that's something you're interested in. He also just put out, as I'm recording this, he did a Pumpkinhead 1/3 scale statue for PCS, I believe, that looked awesome, or that looks awesome. So, like I said, just wanted to I think that's one of the really cool things that Sideshow does, is they spotlight the artists, so you can kind of get to know who's working on the stuff you're buying. And I don't know, I like it. I think it's a really smart thing to do. Makes the pieces, when you get them in your collection, a little bit more valuable to you, if you like those guys or that kind of thing. So, but let's get into the statue, the character. Bane, of course, everyone knows him, Batman villain. He is one of my favorites. I would say probably a little bit underrated. I don't know if he's really as popular as some of the other ones, but I think he's an awesome villain. He's had some, of course, he got Nightfall, like the classic comic book stories. He was in I really liked the Tom Hardy version in The Dark Knight Rises. I know not everybody did. That seemed a little bit like divisive or whatever, but I don't know. I thought he was awesome. The character himself and the performance in the movie. It's just it's a great villain for Batman, because he's physically such a threat, and also kind of tactically or his mind he's just as sharp too. He's not just a big weightlifting guy or a muscle-bound guy. So I really like the way they did him in The Dark Knight Rises as well. So this statue, you might look, I know I did kind of at first glance, it's a lot of kind of black gray tones. And I mean, it is, but when you get in, I'm going to get in a little closer in a second. You'll see there's more to it, and you know, certain aspects. It really adds to the statue. So I'm going to get in a little bit closer here. This one is, I have the, I believe it's the collector's. I forget the edition, but it's the one with two heads. I forget what they call them, if it's collector's edition or exclusive edition, whichever, but came with both heads. I really like this mask much better. I know a lot of people will like the more Nightfall mask, that version, and I mean, it's cool, but I like this one much better. So I've actually never even swapped it out. But you can kind of get in here and see as I'm getting closer on the skin tone, or the sculpt of the skin, the paint, you can see like in the recessed parts, there is difference in the paint where it looks more, it's darker and kind of in the separation of the muscles. It's pretty cool because it actually looks, with Bane, because of like how muscular he is and the venom and stuff in him, his skin looks irritated. And I really like that effect. And then you can also see like in here, the veins, you know, are painted really nicely underneath the skin, but you can see the green and like the venom's flowing through them. And then all throughout, I'm gonna try to focus it a little bit here. It's not showing up great on camera, but you can see like they did, that's a little bit better, but you can see a lot of like the speckling paint underneath. So it's one of them things, like I'm saying, is like at a glance from, you know, 10 feet away, you're not necessarily picking all that up. But when you get in and look at it, it's all there. And then one of the really cool things I like is his knuckles, his elbows. You can see his knees are bloodied up, like he's just been fighting. And it's kind of cool on this elbow, I think it is, where, yeah, you get a little bit of the, like you can see this, like I said, the skin's irritated, kind of bruised up, but then you got a little bit of the blood where it looks like some of it's fresh, some of it's from, you know, from before. So there's a variation in it, and that makes it more appealing visually. And that, you know, just kind of pointing that out because, you know, that's the kind of stuff we appreciated. You know, guys, if you're statue collectors or whatever, it's the attention to detail. These guys don't skimp on anything. So you can see the tears and stuff in his shirt, the tank for his venom. Of course, everyone kind of points out the air bubbles and stuff in the tubes are a really nice touch. You see back here where they, you know, connect to the back of his head, and then he's got it coming down to the tank and out to this kind of metallic wrist piece here, where I guess that's like the controls where he does the injections or whatever. Really cool design. I believe, as far as I know, like I said, I know the other head is basically a Nightfall head, but I believe this is just Daniel Bell's take on him. I don't think this is specifically from, or Sideshow's take. I don't know if it's all him, but I don't believe this is from a specific comic book or anything. Or if it is, let me know, because that would be news to me. But then we get down here, and like I said, you can kind of see, you know, you got the blood and the kind of cuts on his knees, and it doesn't stand out a ton, but I think that's better. I think if you go too much, it's supposed to be kind of subtle. I think if you went like super like bright red blood or something, it can be, I think you lose the effect a little bit on certain pieces. I don't think, like, this isn't a gory statue, but you can kind of see, you know, he's got more up there kind of by his hip. So I think they chose, I agree with not going crazy on a Bane statue. You know, horror, I'm not averse to blood. You know, I like the bloody stuff too. It just depends on the character and the statue you're you know, each one's got to be different. It's got to be appropriate to what you're trying to make. And then this is another part, really cool base. It looks like he's standing kind of on a smashed up Batmobile, or probably a motorcycle. I mean, I don't think I mean, Bane's huge, but I mean, the tire's not I don't think that's in scale for a car, maybe for more like a motorcycle. But a cool concept, and I'm glad, you know, I'm not one of the, like, if everything's in scale, the base has got to be gigantic. I don't, it's a concept to me, so that doesn't, I still appreciate, I like it, and I'm okay with saving a little bit of space. I know what they're doing, I get the effect, and I can appreciate that. So really cool base concept. The one thing I would say is that, like, the gravel, the concrete, because on the base it is pretty black. There are, let me look, I just went past it, but you can see here, like, there's some kind of browns in there. I'm not sure if it's showing up as much on the can. It's a little bit better, but there's some browns in there. I mean, it's well done. I'm not, and you know, you got the kind of metallic, more silver metallic where the damage is. So it's well done, but it is, it's one of the, like, the concrete part, maybe, you know, I've thought about it a couple times. I might still do it, maybe touching it up, just making it a little bit more concrete to separate it from the bike a little bit more. I wouldn't change much, but it's something I've thought about. So down the road, that might be, you know, something to do, but it doesn't need to be done. I'm not knocking them for the base because it works for me. But if I had to change anything or kind of nitpick something, it could be separated a little bit more from the motorcycle in the color. But that's really all. This is, like I said, this is, I think I was saying earlier, this is my only Bane statue. There is a older Sideshow one where he's stepping on, it's like he's putting his foot through the bat signal, which is awesome. That one came out before this. I'm pretty sure it's been sold out for a long time. But I really did like that one too. And he's really kind of like over, I mean, this one is too kind of over the top muscular, but this one's a little bit more realistic, where that one is exaggerated and really cool too. And then one, if I could fit it, I would have got it when it came out, as the Prime 1 Bane. That's like the David Finch, where Batman's on the base. He's beat up, and that one's awesome too. I just, seeing the dimensions of the base and the weight of it and everything, there's nowhere I could fit it. So I had to pass on that one. But that is, I would say that was probably, is the coolest one I've seen. And then they have the, Prime 1 has the Tom Hardy Bane also, if you want the Dark Knight Rises. I don't have any movie Batman pieces, so that one, you know, really wouldn't fit in with my collection anyway. But I do really like it, and I thought about a while ago trying to get that and the Christian Bale Batman, but like, just for space reasons and stuff, decided not to go down that route. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this Bane, if you have them, if it's one you're looking for. I do think it's sold out, because like I said, it's a couple years old, but I mean, I've seen them up for sale. This is for Bane, you know, there's a couple different options, so I think you could find them, I think, if you're really looking. But yeah, if you guys got them, or just let me know what your thoughts are. Is, you know, other Daniel Bell pieces you like, other Casey Love projects that he's worked on, you know, all that stuff's up on the table. I'd love to discuss it with any of you guys. So we'll call it for this review. Thanks again, everyone, for watching and subscribing. I appreciate it. I'm not a regular, you know, daily, I can't put out videos all the time, so I appreciate you guys watching when I can, and the comments and everything have been great. So I've enjoyed it. Plan on continuing, and I'm trying to make it better with the presentation. I'm struggling. I'm pretty amateur at this, obviously, so I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.